Hello, hello, hello. And we are live. How are you? So good to see you.
Fine.
Good.
Excellent.
How are you?
It's fine to
I'm
see
very
you.
nice. Thank you. So we've got Dorothy and France. You are 9 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
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 Whoa. And Basia, you are 13.
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from California.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Okay, so I'm 13 years old and I'm a creator on TikTok. I have 3.6 million followers on my
Woo.
grandpa's account. I help him run his account and I currently have 65,000 followers and I love to create content. I just started the ninth grade and I just love life.
Wow. And I love you. You look so amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. And Dorothy, tell me about you.
Well, I am a very good person in school. I really love math a lot.
Yeah.
And I live in South Africa. Well, me and my sister are doing a shop called AC. It's called Amazon Chubits. So me and my sister want to make this for real. We want
Oh,
to bring everybody to all the kids to like make their own shop and encourage them.
oh, wow. Where in South Africa? Where are you in South Africa?
Well, we are in Cape Town. Yeah.
In Cape Town. I'm in Cape
Yeah.
Town too. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Wow. We have nothing
Yeah.
in
So
common.
we're very close.
Yeah.
Good. Friends, tell me about you.
Um, my name is France, and I'm a person who does an anime. Basically, an anime is a Japanese drawing, like cartoons, which I
Uh-huh.
do. And
Uh-huh.
I also wish to go to Japan so I can learn much more. So
Wow.
that's why I'm now studying, and that's why I was the co-founder of AC. The only thing
Mhm.
I want to do is make children happy while wearing T-shirts. So
Wow.
that each children can come with me, and they can realize that changing the world is a happy thing. So that
Wow.
they're gonna change the world with me.
Very nice. Very, I love it. Well done. Okay, we're going to meet soon. I'm very close to you. Okay, Basia, why don't you start and ask me with the first question?
Okay. So wait, what's the first question?
Any question you want?
Any question?
Yeah,
So
anything.
I can't answer any question I like.
You can ask me any question you want. Yeah.
Oh, I can ask you any question.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do? Like, what's
Okay.
what? Tell me a little bit about yourself. What
Okay.
motivates you to do things that you do?
Okay. So I'm a businessman, and I'm an Israeli, but I live right now in South Africa, and I have different businesses across the globe, and I've been doing business successfully for many years, and over the time, people started to ask me, "So how do you make it? How do you make it? It seems so easy for you to make money. What is it?" And I started to teach people how I do it. And actually, there's a very specific step-by-step actions that if you take them, if you know them, you will have to be a genius not to be successful. You cannot be not successful if you know the steps. Like if you know how to ride the bicycle, you know how to ride the bicycle. You cannot not know how to ride the bicycle. And I started to teach people how to do that, and they found it amazing, and they started to tell other people, and it's expanded, and I'm now teaching a lot of people across the globe. And what motivates me is helping people. I consider that the most important thing in life is how many people you can actually help, and that's what motivates me. Okay. Okay, Dorothy, your question.
Well, my question is, name a superpower that you would use in your
A super,
business that would that would actually make it good. Cause,
Okay.
cause you see, if you wanna make the business, so what you wanna do is like you wanna think of something like France's one. France's superpower is creating. My superpower is talking, and all that other stuff. So what's yours?
I think my superpower and the superpower of every person on the planet and a superpower that anyone can develop is something that called the ability to complete actions. Most people can start things and change things, but they don't really complete it. So they end up their life with many, many incomplete cycle of actions around them. So they have broken relationship, project they didn't complete, things that they didn't say, things that they are hiding, things that they just don't feel comfortable to say, but that's their opinion. And they live around themselves many, many open cycles. And the problem with open cycles is that the more open cycles you have, the less you have of you. Why? Because you will see, you can think about your mind as a computer, okay? Think about your mind as a computer, and the computer have programs. Every time you open an open cycle, you open a program that you didn't close. You know, if in your computer, if you open many programs and you didn't close them, the computer becomes slow, and later on it will crash. And that's what happened to people. At the beginning, they become slow, and then they crash. They think they become old, but they don't become old. They actually become overwhelmed by open cycle. So you can say that you will be as successful as you manage to close cycles of action. And you will see kids, children, young people have more possibilities, more energy, more enthusiasm because they have less open cycles. But if you do something that you hide from your parents or you hide from society, it is such an open cycles for you all the time that every day you become smaller, slower. So the way for you to succeed, the superpower of all superpowers is the ability to complete cycle of action. Say what you have to say. Never hide. Never worry about is it dangerous or not. If it's dangerous, take it. It is more important to close your cycles of actions than to be healthy. It is more important to close cycles of actions than to be accepted. It is more important to close cycle of action than anything, because what kills you at the end and at the beginning is your unwillingness to close cycles of action. And the biggest one is what you're hiding from others. The more you're hiding, the worse you are. So that's the superpower. Do you have any questions on that? Does it make sense to you?
Yes, I really understand.
Good. Let me give you an example of open cycles so you will have some idea. For example, let's say you say to your parents, oh, okay, I will do something. And then you just don't do it because you get lazy or something. Fine, not a problem. And you will get away with that and nothing will happen to you. But you now know that you are not as powerful as you thought you are. You violated your word with yourself. And that later on kills you. So if you want to be powerful, if you want to be someone that nothing can touch, if you want to be the genius of all geniuses, close cycles of action. I'll give you one more example, and a very important one, especially it's for everyone, but for young people that learn. Probably the biggest source of open cycles is the following. You know, did it ever happen to you that you've been at school or someone talked to you and you find yourself daydreaming like you are not there? You're starting to float around in the universe and the guy is moving, his mouth is talking, but you are not there. Did it ever happen to you? Like you don't understand
Yes.
anything. Yeah, like you don't
Yes.
know what you're talking about. Like
It has happened to me.
yes, you know, like you see the mouth move, and but you have no idea what they're talking about. Or if you read a book and you get to the end of the page, you are sure that you read everything, but it's like don't know what I read. Nothing, empty. Yes, that's the result of a very special open cycle.
Mm.
After you go past one word in a sentence that you do not fully understand, your mind shuts off and you start to float in the universe and you think about this open cycle of the word you do not understand. So you lose connection with what you read and your mind is stuck on this one open cycle. You can say that you are as intelligent as you're able to close cycles of actions. And the most important one is understanding each and every word you hear. So what you do when someone talks to you, when you read, if you go past a word you do not fully understand, you need to clear it. You need to go to the dictionary and find what it says, or ask your parents, or ask someone that knows what is the definition of the word, and you will see that you will be the most smart person in the universe. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Friends, you.
What is a hard part of a business?
Sorry, what is the what?
What is the hard part of a
Oh,
business?
what is the hard part of the business? What you consider hard. There's no such thing as hard. There's only something that you consider that is hard. Why is it hard? Because you're unwilling. If you're willing to do something, it's not hard. The moment that something hard, something that is difficult, is only an indication of unwillingness. You actually will never get tired unless prior to getting tired, you will decide, I don't like to do it. I'm unwilling to do it. So if something is hard, all you have to do is to sit down and say, okay, am I actually willing to do that? If you are willing, you'll see that you'll have all the energy in the world and it will be hard for the thing. It will get tired, but not you. But if you decide, no, I'm not willing, just say, I am not going to do it, end of cycle. Not because it's hard, because I decided. So whatever you do, do it from a viewpoint that you are the boss. You are the boss, you decide. And how do you decide? You say, am I willing or not? If you're willing, go ahead, all in. If you're not, go out, also all out, yes? Don't do something half-hearted. Close the cycle of action. If yes, you do it. If not, not. In reality, nothing is hard. Most of the things that are happening in this universe are not hard. Basically, if you look at people, what kind of work they do, let's say a person is a driver. He's sitting in an air-conditioned car and moving a lever, moving a steering wheel. If you work in an office, you move your fingers. Nothing is really hard. Most people don't carry stone. Most people don't work hard. And even if they work in building or something like that, it's not really hard. They have machines that help them. They don't really work hard. It is only your decision, your consideration. Are you willing or not? If you are not willing, it will be hard. It will be impossible. It will be upsetting. When the willingness is low, the barriers are big. And when the willingness is big, the barriers do not exist. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So if it's hard for you, if anything is hard for you, just decide. Am I willing, yes or not? If yes, go for it. If not, be brave enough and say, I'm not going to do it. Not doing it. End of cycle. Okay, makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Back to you, Basai.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so one of the questions is, you know how I have a purpose, like I live with purpose by creating, doing different things. Like, what's your purpose?
My purpose. Okay. So let me ask you a question first. What does it mean, purpose?
like why you're here, like what you're here on earth to fulfill. Like, are you here to change lives? Like, what are you?
I see. Why are you doing the things you do? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, so I want to explain how I see purpose, and then I will explain what is my purpose. Okay, so if we look, we spoke about the cycle of action earlier. Cycle of action is start, change, and stop. Okay, you can say that you start with being someone. For example, you are a mother, or you are a child, or you are an influencer. You have a beingness. Then you do something, and so as a result you have. Okay, so you've got a beingness. I'm a businessman. I do something. I handle different parts of the business. I move people. I sell. I do all kind of things, and as a result, I help people. That's my result. I help people. Okay. If I look at that in terms of purposes, you'll see that what you're being is your goal. You have a goal, which is to be something. What you do is the purpose, and what you have is your picture perfect, the end result. Now, most people start with the purpose, and the purpose is really random for them. So if I would want to teach people how to find the purpose, I will tell them, what is the end result that you want? And you will see that the purpose is less important at that moment. Why? Because if you understand what's the end result, you will know what to do, so you will become. Because otherwise you just decide, well, my purpose is to do A. Now you have to do it because you say it's your purpose, otherwise you break your word. But in life, so many things change, so you cannot have such a rigid viewpoint on purpose. You can have a very rigid viewpoint on what I want to have, and the purpose change according to the situation. I do anything that will bring me ethically towards what I want. And so I become. So I want to have, from my viewpoint, I want to have a lot of people around me in the world that actually maximize their potential. So my purpose is to teach and to correct and to improve and to overall show people how perfect they are. And you will discover that the only mistake you can make in life is to see fault with people and not to see perfection in people. So you can say that my purpose is to show the people on earth that they are perfect, and anything that is not perfect is not them. And that can happen only in one condition. You can be perfect only in one condition: if you see perfection in everyone else. You generally will see that you will get very, very good at what you train to do. So if you train to do something, if you keep on doing something, let's say you will use TikTok again and again and again and again, you will become very good at TikTok, okay? So you'll become very good at what you do. Most people, all the time, most of the time, find what's wrong. So they become very good at seeing wrong thing, and they start to believe that everything is wrong, including themselves. And they will get all the wrong in the world. And once you start training yourself, instead of finding what's wrong, if you start to train yourself in finding what's right, you will see that the miracle will happen, that everyone around you all of a sudden will become right and good, and you will become right and good and lucky. If you start to train yourself to look only for good, you will see that you will get good. It's not that there is no bad in the world. There is a lot of bad in the world, but bad, you can say, is like darkness. The moment that you bring the light onto it, it goes away. And this darkness is not a real darkness, it's more shadows. So it's only a question of where do you put your light. Where you put your light in will make sure how big is the shadow. Put your light on yourself. You will see that there will be very little shadows and there will be a lot of you. And if you'll put the light on all the difficult bad things, on other things, there will be huge shadows that will darken your day. And they're not real, they're just shadows. So my purpose is to show people how perfect they are, because they are. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dorothy, your question.
My question is, what can a kid achieve in a business?
Okay, so the first thing to know about children is that children are people, just they have smaller body.
Yes.
It's not different between a child and an adult, just the size of the body.
Exactly.
Children have the same feeling, children have the same amount of intelligence or more. Children have everything is the same. The only different is a smaller body. So the first thing to know is to demand that everyone will understand that you are a person, and child mean only a smaller body. It doesn't mean smaller intelligence. It doesn't mean smaller ability. It doesn't mean smaller anything. Just smaller body. It's like I have a smaller car than you. It doesn't make me different. You have right now a smaller car than I have. I have a bigger car. Okay? You have a younger car than me. My car is a 57 years old and you have a newer model. It's only 9 years old. Okay? So that's all the different. Okay, so that's the first thing to understand. And what you need to do, if you understand that, you will see that you will stop thinking as because I'm a child, I can do less, or I'm limited, or I can do more. No, the spirit, the thing that drives the car, the thing that drives the body is the same spirit, and you have no limitations, nothing, zero limitations. The only limitation you have is when you decide to be unwilling to close cycles of actions and you create your own limitations. So what can you do in business? Anything that you want, provided that you define how this thing will bring value to others. So how do I, if a child or will come to me and tell me, well, I want to start a business, I say, well, good, like any adult, you can do anything. And what you need to understand is that you need to bring value to someone else. Because once you bring value to someone else, that someone else will pay you for it. Because the only thing anyone gets paid for is for giving value to someone else. Actually, the word salesman means a person that help the prospect to help himself with my product or services. So you need to find something that is of value to other people and communicate it. Explain to them that they need it. Now, how do you explain to them that you need it? You close yourself that they need it. If you're 100% sure that someone needs it, they will need it. The only reason someone will buy from you is that you will know 100 billion% they need it. If you think they need it, if you really close yourself that they need it, they will need it. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we asking the next question, we've got lots and lots of comments. A lot of people that are here and they're commenting. And Pedro says, beautiful. And let me show these comments here. You see, this is Pedro. He says that you are beautiful. And wow, we've got here, wow, shared. And we've got, that's so awesome. And go Basaya, yes, you have people that like you a lot. And Shamaya say, amazing guest today. Yes, I agree. The amazing guest today. And oh, fantastic. Wow, you've got lots of people that like you. Wow. And beautiful. Team Basaya, yes. And true, and hello. This is Aaron, say hi. Thank you, Shamaya. This is Josephine. And Basaya again. And he speaks the truth. Whoa, thank you. Wow, this is amazing. There are many comments. People really like you. And let's see, I'm so proud of my twin babies. Oh, yeah. Get all the wisdom and be great. Whew, so nice. And I absolutely, there's lots and lots and lots of comments. Lots of comments. This is awesome for you, for our youth. Yes. So that's beautiful. So thank you very much for joining us and commenting. Please create share this thing and create watch groups. What we are talking here will help a lot of people. And those people that are my guests today are special. I can see, they understand things that usually takes me hours to explain. I can see in the eyes that they understand, and I can see, whoa, yes, I saw that the realization on the closed cycles of action, and I see you taking notes. So I'm really amazed by you. So very well done to both of you. Okay, next question.
My question.
Yes, your.
Okay. Question number 2. How do you manage success in your business?
How do you manage success? So let's define the word success. What is success? Success actually is the sum of all validated improvements. Success is the sum of all validated improvements. So how do you get to success? You tell to yourself, oh, that's an improvement, 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 that's an improvement. And all of a sudden you say, you know what, actually I'm successful. The truth is you've been successful from day one. But because many people told you all kind of nonsense, that it takes a lot of work, that it's difficult, all kind of things, you needed to be reconvinced that you are actually successful. But you are actually successful. If there was no adult around that will tell you what's wrong with you, you will see that everything is okay. You will be successful automatically. The spirit is successful automatically. Then adults come around and tell you how you need to be careful, how you need to learn, how you need a lot of things. And actually, it's not true. You, the spirit, you know. And because the adults confused you a bit, you now need to become successful again. So what you do, you validate improvements and you validate improvements and you validate improvements. And one of the things that the adult tell you is find what's wrong and you will fix it. It's not true. It's what I call fake reality. What is fake reality? Fake reality is a piece of information that you are 100% sure is true, but when you use it, it doesn't bring the expected result. You don't need to find what's wrong. You need to find what's right. If you find what's right, things will improve. You can find what's wrong with machines to fix machines, but you find what's right with people to fix people. You see that if someone tells you that you're amazing and you think that you are the best, you'll do 100 times, you'll be much more willing than if someone will come and tell you, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And you said, you know what, you'll do it. Yes? Because you fix machines you fix by finding what's wrong. People you fix by finding what's right. Because you don't really fix people. You just need to remind them how perfect they are, and they are. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Next question.
Okay, so my question is, do you have any advice for people starting out like fresh for a business, like any tips?
Yeah. So the tips for business is the following. Number one, find and define exactly what the value you're going to give to someone else. Number one, most important, it has to be so clear to you, not what you're going to do, but what you're going to give of value to someone else. It has to be really clear. What am I giving you that you are going to pay me for? Okay? How is it going to help you? Once you do that, the next thing is find a way to guarantee that result. Because if I come to you and I say, look, buy this thing, and you need it, and I know that you need it, and we agree that you need it, and I tell you, look, it's guaranteed that it will work. If not, I'll give you your money back. You'll buy it because I take all the risk, and you have no risk. So number two, find a way to guarantee the result. Number three, you need to understand that the improvements is not an immediate improvement. It's a gradual improvement. You will grow and grow and grow and grow, and one day it will be big improvement. So you need to see the improvement, validate the improvements, okay?
Yes.
And the most important thing, whatever you do in life and in business, do it in such a way that you will be proud of. What does it mean? If you need to hide what you're doing, don't do it. If you cannot go and tell to your parents or to people that you admire that you did it, don't do it. If you keep those things, you will be successful, no question. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, next question.
My last question is, if you were a 9-year-old again, what would you do?
If I will be 9 years old again, what I will do, I will close more cycles of actions. I will be much more aware that that I have no limitations. I will know that I will not buy the stories or the fears of adults. I will be able to separate myself from the adults. Adults are afraid, are careful, and the more they're afraid, the more careful they are, the more useless they become. So I would not buy this story. They will try to sell it to me. I will understand them and acknowledge them and understand, but I will be super, super expensive, not reckless, but super, wow, never be afraid, never be worried, just go and do anything that I see is not right, but anything that I see that helps a lot of people or things. So I will look and I will evaluate everything with one condition. How many people and things it helps? If it helps a lot of people and things, I will do it. If it's damage a lot of people and things, I will not do it. I will check everything by this thing. How many people and things that it helps? Not how dangerous it is, not how easy it is, not how beautiful or ugly it is. Only how many people and things does it help? If it helps, I'm going and I'm doing it. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Last question. Yes.
Mine.
Yes.
My last question is, how do you make money fast?
Print. Two options. Either become Jewish. That's one option. No, I'm joking. How do you make money fast? Money you don't make. Money you don't make. The government make money. Money you have. And actually what happened with money is the result of how much value you bring to people. The more value you bring to people, the more money you will have. They like it there, right? The more value you bring to people, the more money you will have. Because really, you don't make money. You understand? The government print it. If you try to make money, you will see that you'll think that you will need to work hard or something like that. No. What you need to do is actually figure out what's the value that you can bring to people and bring a lot of value to a lot of people. If you do that without thinking about the money, one day you will look and you'll say, whoa, I'm rich. Most people think, well, I don't want to do that. It's difficult. It's this, it's that. No, the only thing is you look at how much value you can bring to more and more and more people and make sure that they know the value and that you get paid for it. Okay? So how much value you bring to people will define how much money you will have. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, Saya, last question. You have the last question.
Okay, last question. If you could go back and change anything that you've done in like business at all, like any steps that you've made in the past, what would it be?
I will look around and I will find all the ways that I can to admire more people. Just look around, and in every second of my life, I'll go back and I'll figure out how could I admire more people? How could I find more beautiful things in people? How could I see more good in people where I saw wrong? So if you can just go around and go back and go from now forward, forget about the past, but if you go from now forward and you will decide, I'm going to expand people, to make people bigger, to maximize this thing that called people, to make them more beautiful, more unbelievable, and never succumb to invitations to see bad in people, despite all those invitations. It's not that there is no bad, but for me, I will find the good in the person. It's not that I don't know that there is bad. There is bad in people, but I will acknowledge only the good. And the bad is there, fine. It doesn't need my acknowledgement. And I will acknowledge only the good. And if you will do more and more of that, and if I will go back, I will do much more of that. Because the more good you will find in people, the more you'll be in communication with people, the more you help people, because the only thing that people really want is to be understood. And if you'll do that, the pay that you will get will be more than all the gold in all the universe. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you very much for joining me. And lots of people here saying I love the advice, and people really, really, really like your questions and really like the answers. So if you want to get more data about what I'm doing, if you want to learn more about how to create successful relationships, successful families, successful businesses, success in your life, go to www.meirezra.com/family, and you can find their free webinars and simply watch them, and you will see your life will change. And please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is @MeirEzraOfficial, and I'm sure that I'm putting there lots of quotes and lots of videos and a lot of tips. And if you would just simply watch those videos daily and apply the drills, because I'm not just giving you a video and I say, well, this is what's happened to me, and today I ate ice cream, and yesterday I did push-ups. I give you the actual data on what you need to understand, and I give you actual drills that if you do them, the end result is an actual measurable improvements in your life. So follow me on Instagram, Meir Ezra Official, and if you want to get more in-depth information, go to meirezra.com/family. And that's all for today. I want to thank you for joining me. You are amazing. I really enjoyed this interview, and I will be here with more guests next week. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.
Wait.
Bye.